There's one incredibly important feature holding back Duet Night Abyss from being a 10 out of 10 game, and it's not the co-op lag or some complicated issue, it's really something much simpler. It's the movement. Watch this. So every time I press a single input, Rebecca's movement starts slightly delayed. And it also ends with a slight delay. So the response isn't immediate, and when you try to make quick movements, she starts lagging. Whereas in any other game, she would do something like this, but just about 10 times faster. And next we'll look at the turn speed. Same thing. There's a very slight delay between the key input and her actual turning. And this means that when you try to do circles like this, it's okay when you're doing it slow, but as you get faster and faster, she doesn't turn. Right? It's this really awkward, gradual turning motion that just doesn't work out. The next thing that we're going to look at is the grapple. So, whenever you decide that you want to use a grapple point like this, what you would expect is something more of a helix leap, right? You go and you keep going past it until you get to the next point. But what you actually get is this. You get carried to the grapple point, and for some reason your momentum just stops, right? It erases all of your momentum, and you go straight down. And that just feels incredibly uncomfortable to play when you're expecting it to do something maybe more like this. You want the momentum to carry this way so that you can continue your movement in a smooth manner. The next thing that we're going to look at is animation canceling and the one key helix leap. So depending on the character, especially with a character like Lisbel, you're attacking, you can't cancel out of her spin. During her fourth attack, you can't cancel out of it until she's smashed the ground completely. And this leads to times where as soon as you start your fourth attack, a boss or some kind of enemy starts their charging. And by the time you're hitting the ground, the attack's already gone off and you can't dodge it. It feels really bad to not have the choice to get out of your attack, cancel it, and start another chain of attacks. And the last thing that we're going to look at is helix leap. The one key helix leap is this, and the two key helix leap is this. So 2 keys, 1 key. 1 key, 2 keys. With the one key helix leap, your character doesn't have the ability to slide in between each individual helix leap like you can with 2 key helix leap. I'd like to be able to hold helix leap while I'm in the air and then end up with something like this, a slight dash, in order to preserve momentum instead of just landing on the ground, stopping momentum, then helix leaping again. Now, I'm not saying that reworking a physics engine is simple by any means. What I am saying, though, is that slight delays in movement are a negligible issue on paper, but movement's such an integral feature of gameplay, and in reality, the smallest inconsistencies make the game kind of awkward to play. The rest of the game, I think, is amazingly high quality, from the story to the combat and everything else in between. And I've personally clocked, let's see, about 40 hours, I believe, into this game. Yeah, 37, just over 37 hours in this game since release, and I think we'd all love to see DNA succeed and start a new trend of alternatives to gacha games, especially. So I made this quick video to address really the one problem that I've had so far, aside from the co-op lag. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching.